Warriors. They have seemingly hit a roadblock in the Houston Rockets, but not to worry. I mean, these are still the Warriors, right? At least for now. But with Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson being free agents this summer, reports are the Warriors are bracing for possible seismic change. Nick, what's your reaction to this report?
I mean, my reaction is Kevin Durant is leaving. The folks that argue with me on the internet or on the street, why do you say KD's coming to New York? We're not making it up. All the NBA media didn't get together before the year and was like, hey, let's all get on the same page.
So Kevin doesn't have to put on the bottom of the screen breaking news?
Right. I mean, Kevin Durant's leaving. So I know that. C knows that. You know that. The Warriors know that. The seismic shift, the change would be if they lose more than Kevin Durant, which is why there was another report yesterday about the Warriors prioritizing Klay in free agency, not making Klay wait on Kevin Durant's decision to get an offer from Golden State. The Warriors would be, in my eyes, even though Klay has been bad this series, I understand that, they would be insane if they give Klay any reason to test the waters. The first day they can, they need to offer Klay the full 5-year max that they can offer him and make it clear, we love you, we need you, we want you. And that's with or without Kevin Durant. Because what a seismic change would be to me, Jenna, would be Kevin Durant leaves and Klay goes south to Los Angeles. And now it's like, wait, are we spending this money on Boogie? Are we in the Tobias Harris market? Like, is it Steph and Draymond? So I don't think it will be a seismic change as long as they handle their business properly on not letting Klay Thompson go flirt with other teams.
Now, Nick, if they offer Klay the max on the first day and KD is doing his search, how does that change? Now, does he have to take less money?
No, because they have bird rights on them both.
Okay,
so for them, it's not a situation like when you're trying to get a free agent and re-sign your own guy.
It's more of a respect thing.
It's more of a respect thing, and the only reason they wouldn't offer Klay the full max is if they are, first of all, if they're being cheap. They're about to be printing money in their new arena. But if they are holding out hope that KD stays, and if they are saying, if KD stays, do we need Klay Thompson at $40 million a year? Or because Klay Thompson $40 million a year, if KD's there, that luxury tax, now we're talking basically $100 million a year. And so, but that would be, to me, Joe Lacob and Bob Myers have run this team beautifully. I might not like how they got Kevin Durant, but they have done their business really well. It would be so foolish for them to gamble losing Klay when I think they're at less than 5% to keep Kevin Durant anyway, just in the hopes of maybe saving some money if you get lucky and KD stays.
Right. So what would be the reason for Klay wanting to leave? If he knows that Kevin Durant is probably leaving, that's one less star, you could still be one of the two biggest guys on the team that has now probably won 4 titles in a row.
I think the only way that Klay would leave was out of disrespect, if they offered him a contract that wasn't the max. So what I believe, because I do believe that this report, there's some truth to it. I believe that the seismic change will be Kevin Durant won't be there. That's the reality. It's not a rumor now. It's not all will he go. Like, he's going to actually be gone. So the way that we have seen basketball the last 3 years, that's getting ready to change in the NBA. Not only for the Golden State Warriors, but I do believe that going through this stretch where they had this team, they will look at it and be like, wow, we need to have some players on the bench. We need to spend this money a little more wisely. Then we'd have all these starters making all this money. Going forward, yeah, I want to keep Steph. I want to keep Klay. I like to keep Draymond. But we need to try to fortify our bench because that Western Conference is not getting any easier. And if KD stays in the West, Kawhi comes to the West, like there's no relief in sight. So I think that might be the difference in how they do business.
And I think the concern the Warriors might have, the reason that this would come out is I don't think anyone expects, well, seemingly the entire NBA world, including his teammates, expects KD to pick the Knicks. I don't think, and I'm not hearing that anyone expects KD to do it on the first day. So if KD drags it out, like LeBron did a few years ago when he made the decision to go back to Cleveland, I guess 5 years ago now. That wasn't on the first day, it wasn't on the second day, it wasn't on the third day. KD, when he picked the Warriors, he did it on the 4th of July. He did it a couple days into free agency. I don't think they expect KD to do what Paul George did or what LeBron did this past year and announce it the day of, essentially. I think they expect it to take some time. And if that's taken some time and you are not offering Klay until you have an answer for Kevin Durant, then you could lose him. And then it would, because that would be disrespectful. That would be to Klay, a guy who is at the very least a part of 3 championship teams, maybe going to be a part of 4 championship teams, that we think you are expendable. And you let someone go, you know, you give someone a hall pass, go flirt for a little bit. Sometimes they don't come back. And so that's something that I believe the Warriors would be foolish if they do. Offer him the 5 years, $200 million, and be happy about it.
You and I, Nick, in the hall pass, not Jenna.
No, well, I don't know. No, I don't have one of those either. I don't think you exactly know what the hall pass is.
No, I'm talking about when we were in school, not now.
Okay, yeah,
I don't need no hall pass. No,
exactly.
The hall pass lets you get out of jail free.
Let's just talk about
hall
Kyrie
pass.
Irving.
You
Hey
go
guys,
to the hall, use the bathroom.
play that music
in
if you would, please. Coming up.
Oh, you get a pass and then you get to go.
That's none of what it means. Has Kyrie Irving played his last home game in Boston?
In her
That's ahead.
She has hall pass.
On first things first.
Oh, you
need to
can't
use
go
the
out
bathroom.
until you get
She
one.
gives you a little sheet. Yeah, she can go to the bathroom.
Smart went just 1 for 7. Giannis was asked about Smart's night after the game. Say what?
Marcus Smart's returned to the game tonight. So did he make any impact on the game tonight?
I'm so glad he's not from the U.S. His reactions are just totally natural. They're not the right company way and everything.
That is funny.
And he's not a mean guy.
No.
So he clearly, that wasn't shade. I think he was looking like, well, let me see if there's anything I can say. He sees one of 7.
No, that's right. Because normally we have LeBron photographic memory of all the plays and everything. LeBron would have had every shot that he missed. This was great. Oh.
So good. Really good.
So
really
good.
funny. And natural with the funny.
Tough night for Marcus Smart coming back.
Time for stories to start your morning. James Harden dropping 38 points last night in a Game 4 win over the Warriors. This series now tied at 2 games apiece. Nick, how impressive was Harden last night?
Man, Harden had a switch flipped in this series the moment he got his eyes raked. Prior to getting his eyes raked, he's shooting under 30%. He's playing really inefficiently. Since then, he's above his season averages in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, right at his season average in points per game. He was great last night, and he was the biggest reason why they built that 17-point lead that they then almost squandered at the end.
Yeah, he was the best player on the court for 3.5 quarters. But late in the game, that mid-range jumper right there, not settling for the 3-point shot, which he wasn't good at late, and getting those, man, they needed every bucket that they could get. His overall ball handling, like in the lane, you can just see how well, man, he has adapted his game for this opportunity. Typically, didn't have the conditioning to be able to hold the team on his back. Now we see James Harden at his absolute best, and I believe last night was his best playoff game.
All right, moving on. Bucks, Celtics. Giannis had 39 points in a Game 4 win over the Celtics. Bucks take a 3-1 commanding series lead heading back to Milwaukee. See how good was Giannis in this?
Oh, he was special, and that was the distraction of getting that 4th foul. It didn't how do you have 4 fouls? Like, man, the ticky-tack one here, got 2 in a hurry, back-to-back, and then next thing you know, he's got to be able to go to the bench. But in that 4th, where this game could have gone in, the Celtics could have made a charge back. Giannis showed why he's one of the best players, why he had an MVP-type season. He took over, and I think that you're talking about Vince in that moment. Giannis was the one that drove the stake through their heart there late.
Absolutely. Giannis made it very clear to the Celtics, your team is not as good as ours. Your best player is not nearly as good as ours. And the Celtics, I don't want to say they quit, but their effort waned at the end. Giannis becomes, you'll love this one, C, just the 3rd player in playoff history to have at least 35 and 15 in less than 35 minutes. The other 2, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon. That level of dominance in those few minutes, you never see it. He was so good.
Oh, so 1 of 3, right?
He's 1 of 3 to do that in NBA history.
All right, I'm trying to add that.
There you go, no problem.
Yeah.
Moving on.
First time ever done it.
Or 1 of 1 is how I would say that.
Reports are Ty Lue and the Lakers are working on an agreement to make him the team's next head coach. It seems to be a pretty solid report considering Ty Lue celebrated his birthday with, as we saw earlier, a Lakers-themed cake. Nick, is this all but a done deal?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be announced yesterday. I said that yesterday, that by the time we're on the air today, I thought this would already be announced. It looks like they are still working out some language. Maybe Ty Lue trying to squeeze him for a few extra dollars. I don't think Ty's going to come cheaply. But yes, everything's done except for the pen to paper. He's going to be the next head coach of the Lakers. It shouldn't have taken this long, but I guess it's going to take just a little bit longer.
Great birthday celebration. Little cake, Jenna. I mean, signing with the Lakers, getting that new money, Ty Lue celebrating. Now he's with his guy, LeBron James. Don't worry though, Ty. You got help coming along the way. Free agency, get Ty signed, then free agency. I was hoping for a basketball operations guy, but Ty Lue is one of the key pieces to the Lakers getting back to the playoffs. Good signing by them. Was he their first choice, Nick?
It doesn't appear he was their first choice. It looks like Monty Williams turned him down to go with the Suns, which should be maybe a stark reality.
I told you Monty was smart.
Man,
I told you.
Should be a stark reality.